On the next stage of this amazing Scenic Wonders of the Arctic cruise, we'll be heading to the capital city of Greenland, Nuuk. Along the way, we'll be iceberg hunting, exploring more of the Boletta and having a midnight masquerade ball before disembarking in Greenland. But first, I managed to spot my very first iceberg. How exciting is that? An iceberg is a piece of freshwater ice more than 15 meters in length that breaks off from a glacier or ice shelf and floats in open water. Icebergs can vary in size from ice cube sized chunks to ice islands the size of a small country. And we were blessed to have such an amazing sunset. On one of the full moon nights, at around 10 PM, there was a masquerade ball where the passengers and crew wear masks and dance. Simon, on the right, was our onboard entertainment manager and he was just fantastic. We were then entertained with some songs from ABBA performed by the entertainment cast. That's me dressed as a fox, by the way. After a couple more days at sea, we arrived at Nuuk, Greenland's capital city. Nuuk is regarded as the smallest capital city in the world. As for Greenland, it is an autonomous territory of the Kingdom of Denmark. Because Denmark is part of the European Union, citizens of Greenland are also EU citizens. In 2016, Nuuk hosted the Arctic Winter Games. All countries and states bordering the Arctic Circle are eligible to take part. The houses are painted different bright colours depending on their historical purposes. It originated in the early 18th century. For example, blue would mean the house was a fish factory. Yellow is for medical care. Green is for radio communication. Black would mean police, and red houses would be churches and schools, teachers or minister houses, and places for trade. Views from the top of Nuuk were almost undescribable as they were just so stunning. In winter, this harbour would be completely frozen over and you would be able to walk from one end to the other over the surface. We visited the university before then exploring the cemetery on the other side of the road. There are no railways or metro lines in Greenland whatsoever, despite being the largest island in the world. Public transport in Greenland consists of either buses, coaches or taxis. Greenland drives on the right-hand side of the road. Their official language is Greenlandic and their secondary recognised languages are Danish and English. Christianity is the official religion in the country. They use Danish krona as their currency. There is lots of Danish architecture around Nuuk, as well as statues honouring Greenlandic folklore. We then cruised along the Greenlandic coast to Narsarsuaq, where an airport and hotel was based.
I'm now on the road, the main road into town. This is it.
There was also a US Army Museum. The museum honoured the history of Americans who were stationary in Greenland during the Second World War. The Americans arrived in 1941, with the first planes landing at the airport in the following year. Passengers can either walk or take a shuttle to the US Army Museum from the Boletta and back again. There is a hotel for commuters flying from a small number of places, including Iceland. We did see one helicopter take off from the airport. Once we made it to the museum, we had a look around, seeing the old buildings and what equipment the Americans used. The Arctic fox is one of many animals native to this part of the world, including the sea kingbird. We did see some commuter flights arriving at Narsarsuaq airport. We then walked back to board for Boletta. Our final stop in Greenland was Nanortalik, where we would be doing an iceberg boat tour. Nanortalik is a fishing town and was founded in 1770. It was established as a trading depot in 1797. Nanortalik was then moved to its present location in 1830 for improved harbour conditions. In 2020 there were 1,185 residents. Nanortalik means place of polar bears, although we did not see any during our trip. We visited one of the traditional Greenlandic homes. It was like a hobbit house. Then I had the opportunity of a lifetime. I got to have a boat trip to see icebergs up close. Seeing these icebergs is probably the reason why Greenland is one of my 2 favourite countries in the world. The other country, if you're curious, is Singapore. On the 10th of August 2024, the Balletta cruised through the Prin Christian Sound waterway. It is only open during the summer and is honestly one of the most beautiful places on earth I have ever visited. We even came across a glacier of ice. It is famous for its visual portrayal of climate change.
The crew collected some ice from a bogie bit using hooks. They then displayed the ice on display on board and used some ice in people's cocktails.
Our final stop before heading back to Liverpool is Reykjavik, the capital of Iceland. Be sure to look out for that video. Thanks for watching.